The airlock klaxon screamed as the scorched pod fused to the outer hatch. Lieutenant Elias Rourke slammed the override sequence into the panel. Sparks flew from fried circuits. Quarantine protocols flashed red, biohazard, unknown origin, but the pod's distress beacon pulsed human standard code. Someone inside fought to live. Deck secure, Rourke barked into his comm. His gloved hands wrenched the inner seal. Pressure equalized with a hiss. The pod hatch buckled open. A charred figure tumbled out, collapsing in a heap of iridescent scales and ragged flight suit. Female, by the slender build. Alien. Veshra, her pod tag read faintly glowing through the soot. Burns riddled her arms and torso, raw flesh bubbling under cracked armor. Rourke dropped to one knee. No time for scans. He hauled her clear, her body light despite the muscle tone. She gasped, multi-lidded eyes flickering open. Golden slits, dazed. Hold on. His voice cut through the alarms. She clutched his arm. Claws retracted instinctively. Trust flickered in her gaze, alien but raw. Footsteps pounded down the corridor. Rourke grabbed his duty blanket from the locker, the one he'd scavenged from salvage, his only comfort on endless shifts. He yanked his multi-tool, sliced it into wide strips. Burns wept fluid. He wrapped the fabric tight, sealing edges with quick-drying epoxy from his kit. Her scales knit under the improvised bandage, heat fading from her skin. Veshra hissed softly. Not pain. Gratitude. Mara Sato burst through the hatch, sidearm drawn. Her team fanned out. Step away, Lieutenant, Sato snapped, her eyes locked on Veshra. Restrain it in the cargo bay. Now. Rourke stood, hands visible. She's a survivor, Commander. Pod matched our freaks. Sato advanced, barrel steady. High Captain Vane's traps look just like this. Log says outcast. Core's kind don't let those slip. Veshra tensed behind him. Rourke blocked the shot line. Burns confirm ejection trauma. Medical priority. Sato's jaw tightened. Your logistics, Rourke, not Xenobio. Stand down or I'll log you for insubordination. Power flickered. Enemy interdiction jamming the grid. Rourke patched into AUX systems. He rerouted medical power from his section's cryo units to her pod. Stabilizers hummed alive, feeding nanites to her bandages. Veshra stirred. Human, you override for me? Her voice rasped, accent thick, clicks and vowels alien to Navy briefings. Sato's finger whitened on the trigger. Rourke kept his tone even. Standard triage, pods rigged for your bio. Rest. Admiral Herrera's voice crackled over comms. Bridge to security, Raider Wolfpack inbound. Sato, report contact. Sato holstered half reluctantly. Possible infiltrator, sir. Lieutenant Rourke's got her. Contain and extract intel. Fleet's blind, Vane's cutting supply lines. Herrera, cut out. Sato glared. Your call buys her 5 minutes, Lieutenant. She twitches wrong, we space both. She stormed out, team dragging the pod to isolation. Rourke helped Veshra sit. Name's Elias. What hit you? Veshra of the Vexari Exiles. She flexed bandaged arms, scales shimmering. Corvain hunts me. I know his codes, his feints. Her eyes sharpened. Competence gleamed. Tactical, not feral. Rourke nodded. No questions on exile. Wars bred outcasts. Fleets pinned. Your pod punched through their net. I flew decoy, drew fire. She touched the blanket wrap. You bind wounds without claim? Bexari demand oaths first. Spacer rule, stabilize first, bill later. He grinned faintly. Alarms wailed anew. Deck shook, torpedoes glancing off hull. Bridge! Raider strike, Vector 7. Sato yelled over open channel. Rourke pulled schematics. Veshra leaned in, claws tracing enemy patterns on his screen. Vane ambushes here. She jabbed a node. False supply drone. Rourke relayed it. Admiral confirmed SIG? Herrera grunted. Running sim. Sato, escort that Xeno to CIC. Rourke, you're on point. Sato met them at the lift, cuff ready. Veshra submitted without flinch, eyes on Rourke. CIC buzzed chaos. Console sparked under jammer fire. Herrera loomed over holotac face-etched stone. Talk, he told Veshra. She stepped forward. Corvain raids logistics first. Breaks trust in coalition. I was his oracle. Saw patterns no one else did. Exiled for refusing his genocide codes. Sato snorted. Prove it. Veshra's claws danced over inputs. Enemy ghosts lit up. 3 raiders cloaked in debris wake. Boarding pods launch in 60, she said. Counter, vent plasma from Cargo 3, disrupts their fields.
Herrera's eyes narrowed.
Loses half our rations. Rourke spoke up. I rerouted power earlier. Cargo 3's expendable. I've got manifests to jury-rig backups. Herrera nodded. Do it. Rourke sprinted to engineering. Sato covered Vesha at the vents.
Flashed overrides. Flames roaring out.
Raider signatures scattered. Cloaks fried. Direct hit. Sato whooped. They're breaking. Veshra's voice cut through comms. Flank left. Vane pulls this every war. Feigns retreat. Circles for kill. Coalition escorts wheeled. Lasers carved the lead raider. Vane's flagship twisted. Engines blooming fire. High Captain Core Vane's roar echoed on captured channel. The Oracle lives? Traitor! His ship detonated in a silent bloom. Silence fell in CIC. Herrera turned to Veshra.
You just saved my fleet.
She glanced at Rourke's blanket, still bound tight. He saved me first. Small act builds empires. Sato holstered fully, nodding respect. Logistics wins wars.
Rourke felt the deck steady.
Trust sealed, not with oaths, but raps and overrides. But Veshra's eyes darkened.
Poor hat brothers. They know I live.
Herrera clapped Rourke's shoulder. Then we hunt them. Together, red lights flashed anew, reinforcements inbound. Thuds hammered the halt, boarding clamps locking on. Lieutenant Elias Rourke snapped from his console in the CIC. Red klaxons bathed the bridge in bloodlight. Admiral Herrera barked orders. All hands breach protocol. Sato, counterboard. Mara Sato vaulted from her station. Security teams to airlocks. Rourke, seal internals, now. Rourke bolted for the corridor. His boots pounded grated deck. Veshra huddled in the logistics bay ahead, blanket still clutched tight around her shoulders. The one he'd draped over her during the last scare. Her iridescent skin paled under the strobes. She clutched a tablet, eyes darting. With me, Rourke said. He punched the bulkhead panel. Servos whirred, slabs slamming shut behind them. Veshra, status, vibration patterns, she hissed, claws tapping her tablet. 3 pods. Primary breach at Cargo 4. Flanks Cargo 2 and 6. Lines bloomed on her screen. Choke points glowing red. Her old credentials shone through. Tactical oracle, even in rags. Rourke nodded. No time for awe. Sato? Got your map. Locking sectors.
He routed commands from his wrist pad. Bulkheads sealed with pneumatic hisses.
Enemy boarders trapped in dead ends. Sato's voice crackled over comms. Counterteam away.
Drones launching.
Explosions rocked the ship, her team hitting the pods. Veshra's ears twitched. They adapt. Feel that? Winch vibrations, rerouting to mid-deck. Rourke grinned grimly. Logistics man's dream. Cargo bay's my turf.
He grabbed a toolkit, waved her behind a crate stack.
Stay low. Rigging a welcome. Cargo winches hummed, massive arms for shifting pallets. He yanked power feeds, cross-wired servos to motion sensors. Steel cables whipped free, rigged as garrots. Below, the first bulkhead groaned. Torch cutters hissed through. Boarders breached armored figures in void black suits, plasma rifles sweeping. Core Vane's brothers, no doubt. Ruthless like him, hitting supply lines to star fleets. Rourke thumbed the trigger. Winches screamed alive. Cables lashed out, crushing the lead pair in sprays of sparks and fluid. The trap corridor became a blender, screams cut short on open channel. Kill confirmed, Rourke reported. Corridor clear. Sato's team piled in from the flanks, pinning the rest. Good work, logistics. Veshra rose, tablet updating. Second pod circles to engineering. They hunt me, erase the oracle. Rourke reloaded his sidearm. Not today. Alarms wailed, reinforcements pounding the hull. High Captain's kin wouldn't quit easy. Herrera's voice boomed fleet-wide. Coalition escorts, Vector Alpha, jammer buoy and bound. Vane's playbook. Rourke sealed the engineering hatch. Veshra traced vibrations again. Buoy latched stern. FTL blocked. Pods 4 through 7.
7?
Rourke's gut tightened. He patched into ship schematics. Sato, heavy inbound. Reroute to vents.
Affirm. Her team shifted.
Affirmative. Rourke eyed the winch array. Improvise bigger. He climbed the catwalk, splicing emergency power. Cables rerouted to the main bay doors. One pull, and the whole deck became a crush zone. Veshra handed him her tablet. Choke here. Her claw pointed, precise, instinctive. He integrated her map. Trust flowed like current. Ready. Boarders poured through, mag boots clamping. They fanned out, scanners hunting biosigns. Veshra's signature blipped unique, alien outcast, high value. Rourke sprang the trap. Winches roared. Cable snared limbs, yanking raiders into walls. Doors cycled, vacuum sucking two into space. The rest fired wild bolts scorching crates. Sato breached from side vents.
Her Timo down stragglers.
Clear, Rourke dropped to Veshra. You good? She nodded, blanket slipping. He tugged it back up. Small gesture, same as before. Her eyes softened. Humans. Fix everything. Hull shook harder. New clamps thudded. More pods. They're committing all, Sato reported. Rendezvousing. She eyed Veshra. Holster loose now. No distrust. Maps gold. What's your play? Veshra tapped furiously. Their command pod, dorsal lock. Vibration signature matches Vane's brother Lorak. Cut power there, they drift. Rourke interfaced. Logistics access. Rerouting mains. He overrode safeties. Power surged, then cut to the dorsal clamps. Enemy command pod sparked, tumbling free. Coalition lasers from escorts carved it apart. Silence gripped the ship. Breaches sealed. FTL spooled up. Rahara strode into logistics bay. Report. Sato saluted. Borders neutralized. Rourke's traps saved half my team. Rourke shrugged. Team effort. Veshra's maps called the shots. Herrera turned to the alien. Oracle. Vane's brothers inbound fleet-wide.
You turn tides.
Veshra met his gaze. Rourke turned me first. Blanket in cold vent. Trust starts small. Sato snorted approval. Logistics wins wars. Rourke felt the deck hum, FTL engaging, but sensors pinged, debris wake blooming. More raiders uncloaking.
They're not done, Veshra whispered.
Lorak leads the pack. He knows my patterns. Rourke gripped his toolkit. Then we adapt. Together. Escorts wheeled into formation. Lasers charged. The fleet plunged back to FTL. Hunted but unbroken. Rourke watched Veshra sink her tablet to fleet nets. Her claws flew. Sato flanked her, rifle ready. Herrera plotted vectors. One small kindness, warmth and chaos, had forged this. Now it leveraged victory. But Lorak's signal pierced the jump. Oracle falls. Coalition starves. Rourke rerouted power again. War demanded more traps. Debris wake exploded behind raiders in pursuit. FTL strained under jammer fire. Sato braced. Here they come. Veshra marked the next choke. Winches ready? Rourke punched overrides. Always. Pod slammed home. Round 2. Rourke sealed the bay. Veshra's vibrations guided him. He climbed, rigging fresh cables. Borders cut through. Faster this time. Trap sprung. Crush and vacuum claimed them. Sato's team cleaned up. Pattern's yours, Veshra. Proven. The alien stood taller. Outcast no more. Fleet comms lit. Coalition reinforcements linking. Herrera's strategy clicked. Veshra's intel pinpointing raider weak points. Rourke wiped sweat. Competence built empires. But Lorak's voice returned closer. I see you, sister killer. Veshra stiffened. Rourke squeezed her shoulder.
We got this. Hull thuds multiplied.
Full assault. Rourke dove into wiring. Sato covered. Veshra mapped. Traps multiplied. Winches, vents, rigged crates. Raiders breached en masse. Firefights erupted. Rourke's corridor blender whirred. Bodies piled. Sato flanked. Precise bursts. Veshra called shots. Left pod jams. Target bare. Lasers from escorts obliged. Pod vented. Lorak's command clamped central. For Vane! Rourke sprinted topside. Improvised plasma feed from cargo. Vented straight at clamps. Explosion rocked the ship. Lorak's pod shredded. Disappearing. Silence. Fleet-wide cheers. Rourke clamped the final hull plate as cheers rattled the bulkheads. Veshra clutched a raider nav slate pried from Lorak's mangled pod. Her claws clicked against its cracked surface. Comms deck, Rourke said. We record now. Oath first. She nodded, vibrations humming through her frills. Raiders had called her sister killer. Proof burned in her eyes. He led her down a service duct, avoiding patrols. Sato's team swept for stragglers. No time for questions. Bulkhead hissed open. Comms officer jumped. Rourke. Unauthorized. Shipboard emergency protocol. Rourke shoved past, dragging Veshra to the secure booth. Record this. Oath under Coalition Article 47. The officer hesitated. Rourke glared. Fleet reinforcements inbound. Do it. Veshra stepped forward. She pressed a frill to the scanner, her species mark. I, Veshra of the Vexari Exiles, swear truth on the void silence. Raiders under High Captain Corvain, target Coalition worlds. I served their logistics until betrayal. Oracle Station falls next. Proof follows. Rourke activated the holocam. Her words poured out. Vane's interdiction webs, boarding codes, supply choke points. She named captains, frequencies, feints. The nav slate synced, projecting raid vectors. Alarms blared. Incoming tight beam from Admiral Herrera's flagship. Rourke killed the feed. Encrypt and queue for Herrera, no flags. Veshra's claws danced over the slate. Locked. Raider encryption, mine now. Green lights flashed. Data spilled. Strike schedules on civilian convoys. 3 jumps out. Vane's wolves hit haulers carrying med-subs to fringe colonies. Timings precise. Escape vectors marked.
Billions starve if these hit, Rourke muttered. He patched a warning to escorts.
Redirect convoys. Flank vectors 7 and 12. Veshra straightened. You believe without proof. Proof's decrypting. He pocketed the slate shard. Hull still rang from the blast. Comms console lit red. Herrera's face filled the screen. Rorik.
Secure the Vexari asset. Transfer to fleet intel shuttle docking in 10.
No delays. Rourke's gut tightened. Veshra edged back, frills flattening. Sir, she's under my protective triage. Shipboard oath, recorded, Article 47. Herrera's eyes narrowed. Irrelevant. Intel needs her now. Vane's raiders crippled your wing. She's the key. Key to what, sir? Rourke tapped the console.
Testimony streamed.
She's cracked their slate. Convoy strikes plotted. We reroute now. Lives saved. Pause.
Herrera scanned the data. Verified.
But she's high value. Vane hunts her. Intel custody. Rourke leaned in. Request formal protective custody order first, sir. Per Reg 19. Alpha. Oath binds her to this vessel until transfer cleared. Veshra vibrated softly behind him. Trust flickered in her stance. Hera scowled. Stalling, Lieutenant? Procedure, Admiral. She's proven in breach defense. Sato's report incoming. Custody order logs chain of evidence. Reinforcements locked formation. Sato's voice cut in. Confirm. Veshra called boarding pods. Saved my team. Asset solid. Order filed. 5 minutes. Shuttle inbound. Rourke turned. Veshara held out the slate. More data. Vane's core fleet. Jump signatures. Decrypt it. He rigged a power tap. Her claws flew. Patterns emerged. Vane massing for Oracle push. Weak flank exposed. Sato burst in. Rifle slung. Shuttle docking. What's the play? Stall.
Rourke nodded to Veshra. She finishes.
Condor Sato eyed the alien. Frills quivered under scrutiny. Sato holstered her sidearm. You vented that pod. Fine. Work fast. Bashra's display bloomed. Raider signatures clustered. Here. Vane commits tomorrow. Bypass their jammer with this freak. Rourke relayed to Herrera. Sir, slate full decrypt. Vane's feint exposed. Hit their flank. Win Oracle. Herrera's reply snapped back. Data authenticated.
Custody revoked. Protect her, Rourke. Shuttle clamped.
Marines piled out. Stand down. Orders changed. Veshra exhaled, frills rising. Rourke gripped her arm. Told you. We got this.
But sensors pinged. Raider signature surged.
Vane's reserves. Lorak's death bought no time. Pattern shift, Veshra said. They adapt. Rourke punched overrides. Escorts. Form on us. Flank right.
Sato grinned. Traps reloaded.
Always. Vane's voice boomed fleet-wide. The outcast dies. Fleet breaks. Rourke sealed the bridge. Veshra marked vectors. Competence turned the tide. Explosions lit the void. Coalition guns roared. Veshra's data guided torpedoes home. Raider hulls cracked. One breached their screen. A boarding pod straight at the bridge. Rourke yanked winch cables. Again. Sato fired. Veshra called weak points. Pod crumpled. Herrera's flag burned bright. Oracle secured. Vane's signal cut. Silence, then cheers. Rourke slumped against the console. Veshra met his eyes. Your kindness. Leverage. He shrugged. Just triage. Sensors cleared, but a tight beam whispered from the debris. Sister killer lives. Vane remembers. Rourke pocketed the slate. War demanded more. Rourke's fingers danced across the tactical slate. Fleet control, resolute volunteers for point escort. We punch through the mined corridor first. Admiral Herrera's voice crackled back. Approved, Lieutenant. Strangers in those transports need you intact. Godspeed. The bridge hummed. Sato strapped in beside him, her eyes on the sensor feed. Vashra huddled at the auxiliary station, her iridescent frills twitching. The alien refugee clutched her borrowed harness like it might betray her. Convoy forming. Rourke said, engines hot. We lead. Resolute surged forward. The jump corridor loomed, a ribbon of warped space laced with coalition mines. Drifting ordnance glowed faint red on scans, programmed to shred raider signatures. Perfect for escorting refugee transports packed with alien outcasts. Rourke eased throttles. Proximity alarms pinged. A mine tumbled lazy close, its sensor eyes blind to friendly IFF. Steady, he murmured.
His ship threaded the hazard like a needle.
Cargo bays yawned empty behind. Room for survivors if things soured. Veshra's claws scraped her console. Wait. Vector's wrong. Rourke glanced over. Her four eyes narrowed at the plot. What? Ambush. Not mines. Their lead elements mask in the drift. Vector 270 Mark 15. Decoys now. Sato snorted. She's guessing. No SIDS. Trust her. Rourke hit launch overrides. Decoy drones spat from tubes. Ghost ships mimicking the convoy's heat profile. They burned hot into the minefield. Explosions bloomed. Mines detonated in chain reaction, silhouetting raider silhouettes. Vane's wolves uncloaked. 6 interdiction cruisers. Fangs bared. Predicted it, Veshra hissed. Her frills flared triumphant. Helm hard starboard, Rourke barked. Resolute twisted. Raider torpedoes streaked past, claiming a tail-end transport. Sato grinned wolfish. My turn. She punched engines. Resolute's main drives flared. A hard burn screen of plasma and chaff. The ship rammed a debris cloud, shoving twisted hull fragments into the lead raider's sensor cone.
Enemy scans went blind. Fox 1 through 3, Rourke called.
Missiles leaped from rails, guided by Veshra's marks. Impacts cracked armor. But the transport burned. Escape pods jettisoned wild, spinning toward the mines. Pods away, Sato reported. They're sitting ducks. Rourke yanked cargo bay controls. Tractor beams out. I'm pulling them. Resolute dove. Beans latched the first pod. It slammed into the hold amid clangs and shouts. Rourke fired retros. Next pod snagged. Marines in vac suits swarmed the bay, hauling aliens aboard. Vashra leaned into her station. Raider boarding pods inbound. Weak seam at their dorsal vents. Rourke relayed it fleet-wide. Herrera, Veshra's got their soft spots. Coalition escorts wheeled. Guns roared. A raider pod grazed Resolute's flank. Sato's turrets shredded it. Another pod grappled the burning transport. Vane's voice boomed open channel. Outcast filth dies today. Your supply lines snap. Rourke ignored him. Third pod in the bay. Survivors tumbled out, scaled aliens gasping, frills limp. One locked eyes with Veshra, nodded faint. Bay secure, Sato said. That's all of them, sensors screamed. Raider reserves jumped in, Vane's hammer. They targeted Resolute.
Pattern shift, Veshra said. They adapt to decoys.
Flank us left. Rourke punched evasive. Escorts. Screen right. Sato. Reload traps. Done. Proximity mines deployed from Resolute's belly. Coalition specials. Tuned to Raider drives. Explosions lit the void. A Raider grazed the field. Hull venting. Herrera's flagship burned through. Rourke. Hold Oracle Vector. G's key. Oracle, the lead transport. Veshra's old command codes buried inside. Leverage if they cracked it. Veshra's claws flew. Torpedo spreads. Guide them here.
She marked paths.
Rourke fed data to gunnery. Salvos lanced out. Raider hulls cracked, secondaries blooming. But Vane pressed. A boarding pod locked Resolute's bridge module. Grapples bit. Winch cables, Rourke snapped. He yanked manual releases. Cables whipped out, snaring the pod. Sato fired point defense. Lasers carved it open. Veshra called weak points. Their power nexus. The pod crumpled. Debris spun away. Fleet cheers crackled comms. Herrera, push.
Oracle secured.
Vane's signal cut. Silence fell, then victory whoops. Rourke slumped in his chair. Sweat stung his eyes. Cargo bay overflowed with grateful aliens. Strangers saved. Veshra met his gaze. Her frills rose slow. You volunteered. For them. For me before. Triage. Pods don't save themselves. Sato clapped his shoulder. Quiet competence. Vane's running. Convoy reformed. Oracle intact. Herrera tight-beamed. Rourke, data authenticated. Veshra's yours, coalition asset. Custody revoked.
Marines milled in the bay below. Sato waved them off.
Veshra exhaled deep, but a faint ping whispered from debris. Rourke patched it private. Sister killer lives, the tight beam hissed. Vane remembers. He pocketed the slate. Sato eyed him. Trouble? War's work. Rourke strapped back in. Plot next jump. They adapt, we do too. Resolute accelerated. The corridor faded behind. Strangers became allies. One kindness snowballed. Veshra's voice cut soft. Your trust, it turns tides. Rourke nodded. Minds still drifted ahead. Vane lurked. Competence demanded more. Thrusters fired. The fleet plunged deeper. Raider signatures flickered on the edge, reserves massing.
Veshra's frills tensed.
They faint left this time. Sato reloaded. Traps hot. Rourke gripped controls. Leverage built. War hinged. A new ping jammer field rising. Veshra decrypted fast.
Bypass freak here. Sir, slate full. Vane's faint exposed.
Hit flank, win Oracle full. Herrera snapped back. Protect her, Rourke. She's the key. Shuttle clamped outside. Sato blocked the hatch. Stand down. Orders changed. Veshra exhaled. Rourke gripped her arm. Told you. We got this. Sensors surged. Raider signatures bloomed. Vane's true reserves. No time bought yet. Escort form up, Rourke ordered. Flank right. Sato grinned. Let's end it. Vane boomed fleet-wide. Outcast dies.
Fleet breaks. Rourke sealed the bridge.
Veshra marked vectors. Explosions lit space anew. Coalition guns roared. Her data-guided torpedoes home. Hulls cracked. One raider breached the screen. Boarding pod straight at them. Rourke yanked cables again. Fire.
Sato blasted.
Veshra pinpointed. Pod died. Era's flag pushed. Oracle hours. Silence fell. Cheers erupted.
Rourke slumped.
Veshra's eyes held his. Kindness, leverage. Just doing the job, he said, but the slate burned in his pocket. Vane remembered. War demanded everything. Veshra slammed her clawed hand on the hollow table. Blue vectors shattered. Wrong. All wrong. Admiral Herrera's eyes narrowed. Staff officers froze mid-brief. Lieutenant Elias Rourke stood at the back, arms crossed, watching the alien refugee's frills flare red. Explain, Herrera barked. Veshra's voice cut sharp, accent thick but precise. Raiders faint supply lanes. Draw escorts left. Reserves hit Oracle from shadow. Your plan feeds them kills. She swiped the hollow display. Lines reformed under her touch, flanks inverted, pickets pulled tight. Rourke leaned in. Her rewrite shaved 10 minutes off response time. Clean. Brutal. Camder Sato snorted from Rourke's left. Refugee calls shots now. She scavenged 3 days on our scraps.
Veshra ignored her, pointed at the core.
Vane commands there. I know his patterns. Exiled from his clan, but tactics same. Hit reserves first. Oracle falls otherwise. Herrera studied the new grid. Seconds ticked. Proof? Veshra tapped her temple implant. Data streamed in. Raider freak scraps she'd decrypted in the brig. Signatures matched her overlay. Perfect. Rourke nodded once.
He'd seen her patch their shuttle's O2 scrubber with alien wire yesterday. Competence stacked.
Herrera grunted. Trial run. You shadow Sato's wing. Prove it in fire.
He turned. Rourke, you're her logistics leash.
Keep her breathing. Keep her useful. Rourke saluted. Aye, sir. Sato's jaw tightened. Veshra met Rourke's gaze. Gratitude flickered in her slit-piped eyes. Small nod. Trust edged in. Alarms wailed as they filed out. Rourke grabbed his slate. Shuttle prepped. Gear up. Bridge chatter spiked.
Enemy broadcast incoming. Fleet-wide.
Vane's voice boomed over open comms, gravelly and amplified. Coalition dogs. The outcast Veshra hides among you. Bounty. Full clan redemption for her head. Amnesty for any crew delivering her alive. Her secrets end your war. Crew murmurs rippled. Sato's Marines shifted. Rourke felt eyes on Veshra.
He keyed the main channel.
Calm. Bounty rejected. All hands. Eyes on mission. Protect assets. Fire on raiders only. Silence held a beat, then cheers barked from engineering. Veshra exhaled, frills relaxing a fraction. Sato eyed him.
Bold. Mutiny bait.
Practical, Rourke said. She's gold. We need her. Shuttle bay clanged open. They piled in. Rourke at controls, Veshra strapped beside him, Sato's squad filling racks. Thrusters ignited. Void swallowed them. Rourke vectored toward the picket line. Sato, your traps ready? Hot and hungry. She checked feeds, raiders probing left, as she called. Veshra leaned over his shoulder. Faint. Watch reserves, sensors pinged. Shadows bloomed right, Vane's hammer. Rourke relayed to Herrera. Flank forming, sir. Her plan holds. Execute, Herrera snapped back. Torpedoes lanced. Coalition guns answered. A raider crumpled. Veshra marked the next. There. Command ship. Rourke patched power to forward batteries. Improvised surge, hull groaned but held. Shells struck true. Raider vented Admo. Sato whooped. Refugees batting clean. Boarding pods streaked past debris. Slammed their shuttle's flank. Breaches hissed. Marines, Sato yelled. Blasted the hatch seal. Rourke yanked Veshra down. Claws gripped his arm. Trust. Raiders poured in. Plasma rifles hot. Sato's squad met them. Bolters chattered. Bodies piled. Veshra snatched a fallen pistol, fired one-handed. Raider dropped, chest smoking. Rourke sealed the inner bulkhead. Elias to bridge. Pod repelled. Continuing flank. Herrera's voice cut through static. Push. She's key. Another pod incoming. Rourke rerouted vents, choked their approach with exhaust plasma. It cooked mid-flight. Veshra decrypted a burst. Vane signals retreat. Reserves broken. Fleet guns roared final volleys. Explosions lit the black. Silence fell. Shuttle docked hard. Rourke helped Veshra stand. Her hand lingered on his. You refused bounty. For me. But her eyes saw deeper. Sato clapped his shoulder. Logistics lead saved our hides. Again.
Hera strode in as they debriefed. Oracle secured.
Veshra full access. Vane's last broadcast lingered in logs. Outcast lives. War continues. Rourke pocketed his slate. Kindness leveraged. But Vane hunted personal now. Alarms flickered anew. Fresh signatures, raider reinforcements. Veshra's frills tensed. He adapts.
Rourke gripped controls.
Fleet reformed. Thrusters fired. Deeper they plunged. Raider signatures flickered. Reserves massing. Veshra's frills tensed. They faint left this time. Sato reloaded. Traps hot. Rourke gripped controls. Leverage built. Or hinged. A new ping jammer field rising. Veshra decrypted fast. Bypass freak here.
He relayed to Herrera. Sir. Slate full.
Vane's faint exposed. Hit flank. Win Oracle full.
Herrera snapped back. Protect her, Rourke.
She's the key. Shuttle clamped outside. Marines piled. Sato blocked the hatch. Stand down. Orders changed. Veshra exhaled. Rourke gripped her arm. Told you, we got this. Sensors surged. Raider signatures bloomed. Vane's true reserves. No time bought yet. Escort form up, Rourke ordered. Flank right. Sato grinned. Let's end it. Vane boomed fleet-wide. Outcast dies. Fleet breaks. Rourke sealed the bridge. Veshra marked vectors. Explosions lit space anew. Coalition guns roared. Her data guided torpedoes home. Hulls cracked. One raider breached the screen. Boarding pod straight at them. Rourke yanked cables again. Fire. Sato blasted.
Veshra pinpointed.
Herrera's flag pushed. Oracle hours. Silence fell. Cheers erupted. Rourke slumped. Veshra's eyes held his. Kindness, leverage. Just doing the job, he said. But the slate burned in his pocket. Vane remembered. War demanded everything. Fresh ping spiked. Vane's voice crackled through jammed static. Phase 2.
Outcast's clan falls next. Rourke straightened.
Veshra's claws dug in. Her value drew the storm. His protection sealed it. Helm. Evasive. He ordered. Fleet scattered. New war dawned. Rourke's console pinged. Veshra's voice cut through the bridge hum. Strike group. Silent running. Engines cold. Thread the pickets. Now. He glanced at her. The alien woman's frills flared under strain, her four-fingered hands dancing over the tack plot. Human logistics officer tapped his fuel readouts. Coalition ships dimmed to ghosts, hunting High Captain Core Vane's raiders in the void.
Heat sinks deploying,
Rourke said. His fingers synced the timers. 1 minute bursts. Staggered. No thermal bloom to betray them. Veshra nodded, eyes locked on the sensor ghosts. Enemy pickets drifted ahead, Vane's interdiction net, thin but lethal. Her people knew these currents. She'd mapped them as a refugee, outcast from her clan. Rourke had pulled her from a derelict pod months back. Simple triage, patch the hull breach, share rations. Flank left, she ordered. Decoys at Mark III. Particularly, tiny drones spat chaff, mimicking engine flares. Pickets twitched but held formation. The strike group, 6 corvettes, Rourke's frigate Oracle in trail, slipped between the gaps. Fuel margins held at 82%. He nursed the sinks, venting excess in micropulses. Commander Mara Sato gripped her console from security. Clear so far, but Vane's no fool. Rourke felt the deck thrum faintly. Silent running strained the hulls. Humans built for it, modular coolers, redundant baffles. Veshra's kin favored speed over stealth. Her instincts bridged the gap. Sensors whispered. A picket rotated. Veshra hissed.
Evasive microburns. Sink to my lead.
Rourke relayed to engineering. Thrusters fired in unison, ghosting past the blind spot. They punched through the outer net. Vane's main force loomed, supply lines fat and exposed. Closing, Veshra said. Broadside prep.
Admiral Herrera's flagcom crackled. Rourke, keep her covered.
Oracle's the anvil. Understood, sir.
Rourke eyed the plot. His job, fuel, decoys, improv fixes. Quiet competence, then sensors screamed. Hidden signatures bloomed. Vane's carrier wing, lurking in the debris field. Fighters swarmed, pinning the strike group in crossfire. Lasers stitched space. A corvette vented atmosphere.
Veshra snarled. Knife range turn.
Port broadside, synchronized. Fire on my mark. Rourke's hands blurred. Fuel reroute to guns.
He yanked a jury-rigged cable boosting capacitor flow.
Improv engineering. Humans did it without thinking. The group wheeled tight, engines flaring defiance. Veshra's plot lit targets, carrier bays, fighter clusters. Mark! Torpedoes lanced out. Oracle's broadside hammered home, cracking a carrier's flank. Explosions chained. Fighters shredded in the synchronized volley. Veshra's tactics, alien precision, punched the hole clean. Through! Sato whooped! Marines prepped boarders! But Vane's voice boomed fleet-wide, synthetic growl overriding jams. Outcast dies. Fleet breaks. Rourke sealed the bridge. Boarding pod streaked inbound raider breacher. Claws out for Veshra. He spotted the weak seam in its hull. Sato, port turret. Fire. She blasted. Veshra pinpointed the shot. Pod erupted in fire. Cheers rippled. Herrera pushed the flag. Oracle secure. Press the flank. Silence fell over the raiders. Coalition guns roared victory. Rourke slumped in his chair. Veshra met his eyes, frills relaxing. Her claw touched his sleeve. Small thanks, burned in the breach. Then fresh ping spiked. Sensors surged with mass. Vane's true reserves. A larger fleet, carriers and heavies, vectoring from the shadow of a gas giant. Outcast's clan falls next. Rourke straightened. Veshra's claws dug into her console. Her value, the decrypted slates, tactical genius, drew the storm. His protection, that first kindness on the pod, sealed their bond. Helm, evasive spiral, he ordered.
Escort. Form up right flank. Sato grinned. Rifle ready.
Let's end it proper. Fleet scattered, guns hot. Veshra marked new vectors. Their supply nexus. Hit there. Rourke synced decoys anew. Fuel at 47%. Heat building. No room for error. A raider heavy closed fast, missiles blooming. Veshra called intercepts. Rourke timed the sinks. Vent now, or cook later. Missiles died in the chaff wall. Oracle shuddered under return fire. Hull alarms wailed. "Patch that breach," Rourke snapped to Wayne. He grabbed a welder kit, diving into the corridor himself. Sparks flew. Bulkhead sealed. Back on bridge, sweat beating. Veshra's plot updated. Clan signatures inbound. Vane's bait. Rourke extract her. She's the key to their codes. Negative, sir. She's leading. Trust built in action, not orders. She nodded, frills firm.
We threat again. Silent to their flank.
Engines cut. Ghosts once more.
Rourke nursed the margins. Decoys masked the pivot. Enemy heavies pressed Herrera's center. Sato's Marines repelled a border. Raider corpses drifted past viewports. Vane's carrier loomed, fighter screening. Veshra whispered vectors. Micro jump, slingshot. Use the debris. Rourke calculated fuel. Green. Execute. Strike group slung around wreckage, silent, till the last. Broadside erupted, synchronized hell. Carrier bays crumpled. Fighters scattered. Vane roared. "Board the Oracle! The Outcast!" Pods rained. Sato's turrets shredded most. One clamped hull. "Marines hatch!" she barked. Rourke yanked power cables, rigging a surge. Veshra, cover. She fired point defense, claws steady. Pod breached. Raiders poured in. Sato met them. Shotgun barking. Rourke welded the inner hatch, buying seconds. Veshra lobbed a grenade. Alien chemburner. Screams echoed. Last raider fell. Sato wiped blood. Clear. Fleet momentum shifted. Herrera's heavies flanked Vane's line. Torpedoes honed on Veshra's data. Raider hulls cracked. One drifted. Engines dead. Vane's signal spiked. Fall back. Phase 3 waits.
Pings faded. Coalition held the field.
Rourke exhaled. Veshra leaned close. "Your kindness," burst Pod. "It leveraged this. Just triage," he said. Hand on her shoulder, quiet compassion. Slate burned in his pocket. Her clan's codes, decrypted. War's next lever.
Alarms blared anew. Gas giant birthed shadows. Vane's Phase 3. Clan killers inbound.
"Form up," Rourke ordered. "We protect our own." Veshra's eyes gleamed. Trust sealed the win.
New storm broke. Explosions rocked the hull.
Rourke gripped his console as Veshra's vectors lit the tax display. Clan killer dreadnoughts erupted from the gas giant's shadow, railguns spitting fire. "Target their flanks," she hissed, claws tapping overrides. Vane leads center, his command ship. Rourke punched engines. His strike corvette surged, coalition heavies forming wedge behind. Sato barked from security deck, shields at 60, raiders inbound. Fighters swarmed like hornets. Rourke's point defense chattered, shredding 3. Veshra leaned in, her scales brushing his arm. Micro jumped to their blind arc.
"I board."
"Risky," Rourke said. Fuel margins razor thin. But her eyes locked. Trust forged in that first pod, his blanket her shield. He nodded, slingshot off the derelict. "Go." Pods launched. Veshra's hit, Vane's carrier, amid the chaos. Rourke watched feeds. Her team breached a hangar, chem burners melting bulkheads. Raiders countered, blades flashing. Veshra dodged, claws raking throats. She vaulted a barricade, pistol barking. "Codes incoming," she voxed. "Hold fire on my signal." Dreadnoughts pounded Herrera's line. Torpedoes bloomed. Rourke evaded, tractor snagging debris for cover. Sato reported, "Enemy boarding pods vectoring us."
He rerouted power surge trapping.
2. Marines mopped remnants. Veshra's feed spiked. Raiders down, bridge doors hissing open. Vane loomed on her slate, tusks bared. "Outcast. You die here." Veshra advanced, pistol leveled. "Your Phase 3 ends. Surrender code. Transmit now." She sidestepped, claw to his throat. Blood sprayed. "Now!" she growled. Vane choked the code. It flooded enemy nets. Raiders froze. Dreadnoughts powered down, hulls dark. Coalition guns silenced. Herrera's voice boomed fleet-wide. "Cease fire, victory confirmed." Rourke exhaled, wiping sweat. Veshra's face filled his screen. Blood-flecked but steady. "Debt paid," she said. Blanket held. Fleet marshaled at the rally point. Herrera's flagship loomed, battered but intact. Rourke docked his corvette in the main bay, Sato at his side. Marines stood ready, but tension hummed. Whispers rippled, the outcast's name.
Admiral Herrera strode the bay, flanked by aides.
His eyes, hard flint, fixed on the airlock. It cycled. Veshra emerged, raider cloak shed, clan sigils gleaming on her armor. No escort, just her pistol holstered, carrying a sealed case. Silence gripped the deck. Hera saluted. Veshra of the Shattered Clans. Coalition owes you.
She inclined her head, spines flat in respect. Debt is chain.
Break it. Her gaze swept ranks, landing on Rourke. Promote me, Admiral. Fleet Admiral.
I end this war. Gasps echoed.
Sato tensed beside Rourke, hand near weapon. Herrera studied her. Seconds stretching. Then, proof first. Your codes decrypted Vane's Phase 3. Competence proven. He tapped his slate. Orders flashed fleet-wide. Veshra, Fleet Admiral. Coalition accepts her authority. All commands report. Cheers erupted. Ragged but real. Aliens in mixed crews bowed spines. Humans clapped shoulders. Veshra's spines rose. Victory, not dominance. She turned to Rourke. You, with me. Bay cleared. Rourke followed her to the flagship bridge, case in her claws. Officers parted. Herrera watched from command throne. Veshra faced the main holotank, plotting vectors. Vane's remnants scatter to core worlds. We hunt. Joint rescue charter. Save their outcasts. Turn them. Sato snorted softly. Risky. Loyalty unproven. Veshra's eyes met Rourke's. One human proved it first. She set the case on his console, latches clicked. Inside, the blanket mended, threads rewoven with alien precision. Faint scent of his ship lingered. Rourke lifted it, fabric soft. That first pod, her shivering hunted. He'd draped it without word. Triage like any spacer. Now, war's lever. Kept you fighting, he said.
Kept me trusting.
She extended a claw.
Sign. New charter under my command.
Humans lead logistics. We rescue together.
He scanned the slate. Terms balanced. Human compassion met alien tactics.
Sato nodded once. Herrera grunted approval. Rourke signed. Charter sealed. Alarms pinged. Scouts reported Vane's survivors rallying. Veshra spun the holotank. First target. Their slave yards. Outcasts wait. Her claw rested on his shoulder. Light. Trust echoed his first gesture. Rourke plotted fuel chains. Sato armed teams. Fleet mobilized, a tide turning. One blanket, one kindness, now the war's hinge. But scout feeds glitched. Shadows stirred beyond the yards. Vane alive? Rourke's console warmed. Her eyes met his. We protect our own. Engines thrummed, jump primed. The hunt began.